Camilo Bonilla, and I am a student of bachelor degree in foreign language with emphasis in English, and I am in the 10th semester, and I am here to talk a little about my research poster by the course Pedagogical Practice in Online Environment. I'm gonna share my screen for you, and you're gonna see the poster. Just a second. All right. First, I will tell you something. For the phase three, I have doing a poster, right? This poster, but I think that they don't have it all of the information. And I do another poster, and this is the official poster, all right? What happened? Um, for this research poster, I take in account my internship. My internship was with some students of the virtual community. That students are part of the course Pedagogical Practice in Online Environment. And I have a research question. The research question was, how does gamification influence motivation and learning outcomes in all students in virtual environment? All right, all these students are adults, maybe around 18 years by 25 or something like that. And I have this question for all the project, my project of research in the course. First, we need to take in account the use of information and communication technology in English language teaching offer new opportunities for the vocabulary learning in virtual environment. In online learning communities, these tools allow the teaching of interactive readings, writing, and listening activities that help students acquire vocabulary in practical and engaged ways. This project explored how the integration of ICT in English class can transform vocabulary learning, making more dynamic and motivating for the students in virtual contexts. All right, now taking into account this introduction, my research poster uh, is about how the how we can motivating the students to learn another language. In this case, English. But for that, we need to use some tools. These tools are the gamification, and we can use the gamification taking in account the ICT. This ICT have some games, have music, have a lot of activity, and we can practice the four skills for learning English. In this case, is speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Right? Was the that is the four ways we need to take in account when we are learning English or teaching English for another persons. All right. Now, what is my research questions? My research question was how to introduce ICT in English class so that students in virtual community learn English vocabulary through reading, writing, and listening activities in a fun way. Right. The principal concept is learn English in a fun way, right? Because if we go to the normal class, we're going to say, uh, we're going to see everything same. For example, when I was in the school, when in my class of English, I only know some part of grammatical English. For example, the verb to be. In that, make the class so bored because we don't have, we don't talk about something more. Just the verb to be. For example, present perfect, past perfect, present simple, and just that, and that make the class bored. And when I was in the school, I don't like English. I don't wanna to study English. But now, when I grow up, when I finish the school, I see the English for another way because in the university, the teacher teach using different tools and taking in account the ICT. and I like that. And I want to implement that in the English class in my internship. Now, taking into account everything I say, I'm gonna talk a little about the methodology. Alright, for example, the tools employed in the study encompass a variety of gamified application language, learning platforms, and interactive audiovisual resources. These tools were strategical, selected to align with the gamification methodology, incorporating game elements such as challenge, rewards, and levels to engage student motivation. Gamification application provide an engaged framework for practice, with language learning platform offering instructors opportunities for vocabulary acquisition and grammar reinforcement. And the interactive audiovisual resource, including videos and animation, were utilized to create immersive learning experiences that encourage active participation and facilitate the development of speaking English or a skill in dynamic real world scenarios. Alright, the idea for this research was to implementing everything we say, everything we learn in the class in the real life, because that's so important. We not only learn English about the grammatical part. That's important, yes, but it's necessary to know how we can use the English in the real life, in my daily life. Why? For example, in the work, we can talk in English. In the school, we talk in English. If we go to the airport, we need to talk in English because English is the language of the world. Everybody needs to know English. And how can I implement that? For example, if I go with a travel, maybe in United States, I need to know something. And that's a important way to implement these thoughts, right? About the gamification. How can I put in practice the English in the real life? All right, now some expected results is about the student interest in the participation, improve rotation and practical use of vocabulary, and increase confidence in communication. All right, these 3 points are so important, and that was so important during the class because I can put in account, the student can put in account these 3 points. They have more interesting to participate in the class. They write me all the time, hey teacher, what hour we are going to start? I am so happy and so excited for learn something more. When all the class are finished in my internship, the student when the students say to me, "Oh, I am so sad because I don't want to see you for more time teaching, and I like a lot your class because that they are so interactive, and I like it, and I learn a lot, and that made me so happy because I know I can put in practice everything the teacher, the university was learned to me, and I can share for another persons. All right, now just let me put the another part. Alright, in this part we can see some tools I use in my research project. For example, in the implementation, I use Kahoot, I use EducaPlay, and Quizzes. These three apps are so important because in Kahoot you can do or you can make some activities interactive, and the students have motivation because that's interesting, right? It's different. It's just a game, but you can learn something taking in account the game because it's more interesting. That makes the student excited. That make points and etc. And I use EducaPlay. I like that tools because in EducaPlay you can do everything you want. You can put a video or an interactive video. You can do interactive activities, something more. And I use quizzes. This quizzes is similar to Kahoot, but have the a lot of experience I recommend you, if you want to do a class interactive, you can use these three tools because it's so amazing. And for the class, I use some videos too, interactive videos, or taking in account some animations, and the students like it because they know that, and that make the class different of the habitual and more fun. In this part, you can see a link. This link is for one of my class. If you, when you have time, you can enter in this class and you can see what when I put in practice these activities. All right, now in conclusion, the integration of ICT in teaching English in an online environment that making change vocabulary learning and engage effective manner, because the interactive activities like reading, writing, and listening not only motivate students but also improve vocabulary retention and encourage more meaningful learning experience. This methodology both interested in the language while fostering autonomy, promoting the practical use of English in real world, and is amazing because these tools of ICT make the class more dynamic, that make the learning process more easy and have a lot of benefits for the students. And I have some future recommendation. All right. For example, in the future we can use or we can explore emerging in ICT tools, but contain the integrate and evaluating new information. We can customize the activity based on the student's interests. We need to take in account, or we can take in account the interests of the students, what they like, what they don't like, and why he like to do in the free time, what subject they like, and we can implement that interest in the one class, for example, because they're gonna make the difference, they're gonna make a change. For another part, we can investigate the long-term impact in the communication skills. We need um, to have more interesting, taking into account what happened in the world, what happened with the guys, what they like, what they see in the TV, what they see in the phone, what we can uh, achieve in the social media, because social media, internet is the world, is a technology of the new era, and we need to know that because that's gonna make more easy when we want to teach another or learning something. Because if you know something, you can talk about that. If you can talk about that, you can give your opinion, your critical way, you can do everything. And I think that's so important. We need to take into account that in the class, for the future class. In this part, you can see some reference I use for this investigation. These three are the principal, right? And that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for seeing this video, and I see you in another time. Bye bye. Thanks so much.